Mark Hamill to voice Chucky in Child's Play remake. That is the headline on today's Movie Burner News, John.
Yeah, Stephen, I'm very excited about this first and foremost, purely because of my love for the great man that is Mark Hamill. The guy doesn't get enough jobs in the industry for my liking. He obviously slightly more prominent in the 1990s when he was younger. And he had that incredible slicked back blonde hair. Fell by the wayside a little bit. Went into in terms of obviously live action films, he'd done his voice acting and went off. Very successful career as a renowned voice actor, and that's obviously allowed him this opportunity for this role. Stephen, by all accounts, I wasn't aware that he actually played the role, I believe, in some series. I don't recall what the series was. You told me
Robot Chicken, John.
Robot Chicken, yeah. So he played the role of obviously Chucky, the killer doll. And this is obviously, I think you says he was earmarked as well originally to be.
Yeah, he was always at the top of the list,
He was always at the top of the list to obviously portray Chucky, the killer doll. Now he's getting his chance to do it in this new sort of a retelling of the franchise, reboot of the franchise. So I'm excited, Stephen, because I love seeing the guy getting jobs outside of Star Wars. Obviously his time is over with Star Wars, as we know. Episode 9 is in the can. Luke Skywalker's very much dead. He's going to appear as a Force ghost in that film, and then he's going to go off to pastures now. We've seen him sprouting out a little bit. I think it's Nightfall. He's playing this sort of a, I don't want to say Merlin because he's went out his way to say it's not a fantasy sort of a TV show. It's more serious. He's playing like a sort of a, I don't know, a weird sort of an old character. It's kind of this scholarly type figure. I can't say that bloody word. And now he's doing this, so it's great to see the guys.
Another person, John, that's done with the franchise. This is Brad Dourif, who originally voiced Chucky. As we know, he's a terrific actor, Brad Dourif. You know, the likes of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, Lord of the Rings as well. He appeared in that. He's appeared in a few episodes of The X-Files as well. Terrific actor. I don't know what the situation in the relationship, whether he was ever asked. If they're saying that Mark Hamill was always top of the list to voice this version of Chucky.
I wonder what he thinks of that.
Yeah, it would be interesting to find out, you know, because he did voice Chucky in the original 1988 film and the 6 sequels, so that's the only person that I've ever, you know, known and related to.
He played him in 6 films, but we never really wanted you. We wanted Mark Hamill, but he was too busy playing the Joker.
Yeah, listen, it's not if they're going to get somebody else in to do it, Mark Hamill is the man to do it.
Absolutely, Stephen.
An absolutely astonishing voice actor.
What voice he's got?
From obviously playing his
we love the guy.
And as Luke Skywalker, John, but he's just as famous playing the Joker as well.
And what a Joker it is, Stephen. Many regard
and the Trickster.
And the Trickster, yeah. Many regard that Joker as the greatest Joker of all time. And I have to say, seeing some of the animated films he's been involved in, seeing some of the animated TV shows, the cartoon series, being involved in the Arkham Asylum games, he's a fantastic Joker. He really is up there with the likes of Heath Ledger. He deserves to sit shoulder to shoulder with these guys in terms of just the actual embodying of the character, not obviously in a live action sense, but it doesn't need a live action to embody the character. I think
just the physicality of his appearance. He's maybe too short, a little bit too stout. He's not. I always find that I grew up with the Joker, you know, with the Cesar Romero one and obviously the Jack Nicholson one away from the comics. It was always like a gangly figure, which I found very terrifying, you know. Mark Hamill can't pull that off, I'm afraid. You know?
Absolutely no, he can't, Stephen, sadly. And that just adds to the eeriness of the character, Stephen. In fact, he has this big, tall, gangly 6'2", I think, character and clown. And obviously the interpretation that Mark obviously voices is very much like that. He's got the elongated chin, the crazy hair, and he's a big, tall, skinny, gangly sort of a 6'2" figure. Mark doesn't need to physically be like that because he's only voicing the character, and he really does embody that character with great spirit and personality, and just an incredible sort of a portrayal that he puts into it. He puts his life's blood, sweat and tears into it, and he really does do a fantastic job of that, and I'm sure he'll do the same with the killer doll Chucky. I can't wait to see the film, Stephen. I have to say, we looked at the trailer, we didn't do a reaction for it, sadly. Really enjoyed the trailer. I thought it was brief. It was a sort of a teaser letting us know this is coming. We see brief little glimpses of Chucky, and at the end it's obviously the silhouette of him in the darkness. We don't hear him, so I'm not sure at this point that he was perhaps even on board doing the voice. He may actually have come in and filmed and done most of the voice, what sort of ad-libbed and added it onto the character, in the post-production of the film.
John, we did the Annabelle reaction a few days ago, and I did make a comment in regards to this thing's been done before. I did say the original Child's Play I grew up with, and I think that's probably because it's been done. I wasn't that phased by this Annabelle version. No. This one, because it's going to be a reboot, it might intrigue me because Mark Hamill's on board. I really want to see how he performs as the Chucky character. The sequels, I'm afraid, didn't do it for me. There was 6 sequels.
About it after 2.
I think if you're committed to the genre and you enjoy the franchise, then you're going to get something out of it. That standalone film, that original 1988 film, is still quite creepy to this day, because it was probably the first of its kind in my lifetime anyway. I don't know if there was any other type of films, I'm sure there was.
Oh yeah,
but that was the one that stood out for me, and I think I might have seen it when I was 12 as well, which is probably not allowed, but didn't scare me.
Was that your gran again?
Yeah, probably. My gran loved scaring the life out of me, but it was a great film. I thought Brad Dourif portraying the character, I'm pretty sure it appeared in his physical form before his spirit carried into the toy, so I don't know if they're going to go down that road, if it's going to be the same story or what. I
don't know, it may be, Stephen, you may be right, but I think from the vibes I was getting, it was the mother bought this doll for her young son for his birthday. I think it's his 11th or 12th birthday or something, which is strange in this day and age. You wouldn't expect a doll to be getting bought for a child of that age. It's more like iPads and stuff like that now, but maybe it's from a bygone era. It may be a period piece, Stephen, and that's
like it,
that's completely acceptable. It's still acceptable. You want to buy a doll for your child, you can buy it. If the child's happy with that, then who am I to judge or criticise? But I digress. I don't know if they're going to go down that spiritual, him dying and possessing the doll. They may very well do it, Stephen. If that is the general gist of the story, then that may very well be that they're doing it again. It is a remake, so if they're following it scene by scene and making it a scene by scene remake, then I presume they are going to do that. I'd probably see Mark Hamill then in the film, in his physical form, which is something we've seen done.
I never thought that,
he would actually pop up. So it'd be intriguing to see how he'd do in that. Obviously, what he kind of a look and sort of a appearance he'd take. Nightfall, as I discussed, very different. He's playing this sort of a Knight of Templar, mystical sort of a intellectual figure that's kind of a hardened. May see that he carries that over. Is he going to ditch the beard? I don't know. Is he already ditched the beard? Who knows, Stephen? It's all very intriguing. The cast itself looks very good out with that too. Aubrey, I think Plaza's playing the mother. Gabriel Bateman's playing the young boy. It looks a very intriguing story. It's obviously a tried and tested thing, Stephen, throughout the history of just humans in general, man. We've always had this obsession with demonic entities possessing things and general actual dolls and stuff like that.
That's why I'm pretty sure there's been films made before Child's Play, John.
Yeah, but look, I ain't get much more to add. I'm very excited to see Mark Hamill coming on board again outside the world of Star Wars. Really, I love the fact that his reprisal of Luke Skywalker's really reinvigorated the guy's career. He's now got chances again to go out. Not that he never had chances. I think I'm being harsh. His career wasn't dead.
When did the Child's Play trailer drop again, John?
I think it was a couple of months ago.
Yeah. I mean, I did notice they didn't have the voice of Chucky at the time in the trailer. I thought that was very strange because it's one of the things that kind of stands out for the character. But we know now, it was obviously they wanted to keep the news of Mark Hamill being involved till
it's big news.
This point. So that's great news, John. But we'll move on to the next topic, which comes in from Empire Online. This is the Jordan Peele explains the We Americans line in Us. You and I went along to see this movie, John. I don't know how much you want to really get into the actual movie itself because we're trying to save ourselves for the blog rundown with Gianni's review tomorrow. The We Americans line to me kind of confused me at the time. I wasn't really sure what it meant. Reading the article, I got a little bit more confused. I had to ask you, what's he actually saying? So you might want to, I understand now because you've explained it a little bit better to me.
Listen, Steve, that's just my interpretation. I may be completely wrong. I'm no intellectual by any means, and I'm certainly no expert when it comes to allegorical themes and what's going on in Jordan Peele's mind. This guy has got an astounding mind for film. What he does with themes, combining the superficial with the undercurrent of sort of a metaphorical themes and things like that. The guy's got a real astounding mind. The way he seems to have transformed himself from this comedic figure. I think he worked with, I think it was Michael Keegan, I can't recall the name, but they done like a sort of a show, and it was a fantastic comedy show. The way he's really stepped into the horror genre from that and really transformed the genre in a sense with Us, and obviously Get Out prior to that, it's been remarkable. But it's the fact that he does utilise these allegorical themes, and I think that's what he's getting at here. I think he basically says that it's all about, I'll try and get the quote here exactly, look, we're from here, we're human beings that are from this soil, which of course you can go on to find out, oh yes they are, they're just underneath it. The imagery in this movie is based on my fear of the American society. I think us can apply to anybody, human beings in general, your family, your country, and so for me it was my country and duality of our society. So what I took from that statement was essentially this, again, I spoke about it briefly in Box Office Chat, just the marginalisation of the minority sort of communities within the United States, how they can be left behind, and obviously the more populous, heavy, like white sort of a demographic do get more chances to succeed in life just purely because there's more of them, first and foremost. They get afforded at times better family structure and education from that, whereas Hispanics, the black community, they sometimes can have that, they don't have the father figure at times, they kind of things cause that to break down the family structure. It means they don't get the education at times they perhaps could get if they had the best sort of a foundation below them in terms of family structures and stuff like that. I think it was delving into that. It was an allegorical theme like that. They are being kept down in this facility, that's them being pushed down, marginalised, that they're not getting a chance to go out and be what they could perhaps be, meet their ambition, their potential. And we see obviously the Peter Nyong'o character, Red, mixing or swapping. She goes to the surface. The real, I can't recall what her name is, Adelaide, goes down below the surface, and you see that she's still able to meet her potential when she's given the chance to flourish on the surface. I think it's just that, he's delving into that, and obviously the marginalisation over the history of the minority groups in the United States. We've seen it within the Native Americans and stuff like that. They built the cities, cast away to the wayside afterwards, and just their treatment in the reserves and stuff like that. So I think that's what, I may be wrong, but I think that's what I took from it.
What made me wonder with your theory, John, is why didn't the director just use the line, we're all equals, or something like that, why we're Americans? It really did.
Well, he was hammering at the whole American dream thing as well, wasn't he? The superficial sort of a capitalist way of it, with the two families. Winston Duke's character bought the speedboat. The friends, the friends of the family, they bought the husband figure bought the car. So they were bickering away about the superficial stuff, while there's more serious things underlying in society. It's kind of saying that we've become blinded to what's really important in society. What America, obviously, but in the wider Western society, we're focused and fixated on obviously the superficial sort of a materialistic things, and we forgot about the real crap going on underneath, trying to spread the wealth and make everybody rise together, I'm into communism.
Listen, everybody is. Jordan Peele's message is very loud and clear at you, the way you break it down, John. I just didn't get it, I'm afraid. Very confused. I did pick up on the line, and I was kind of wondering, what does she mean by that? Why we're Americans, rather than, we're all humans, but when you break it down to society, and obviously the structure of America as well comes into play, and I think that's where Jordan Peele's, his angle's coming in from.
Look, I've really enjoyed the film, Stephen. I thought it was very interesting. When you start thinking about it after you've seen it and delve into it, it really is a very interesting, multi-layered film. There's a lot going on there. Superficially, it's a great sort of a horror with comedy and stuff like that, elements going on within it, but when you start delving down into sort of an allegorical themes, it's mind-bending, as John Lennon said.
But we'll just move on to our next article. This comes in from Screen Rant, and it's all about Batman's birthday. Happy birthday, Batman.
I can't believe it.
Matt Reeves wishes Batman a happy birthday and teases a new bat symbol. Now, we've both read the article, John. Batman is celebrating his 80th birthday this year, which would probably make Alfred maybe about 120. So R.I.P. Alfred. But this
is a new series of film out about him.
That's interesting. But listen, this is based on a tweet that Matt Reeves posted on the 30th of March, which is kind of focused on the Detective Comics, costing only 10 cents, I see there. But in the background, there's a little blurred out
logo, which very deliberate.
Very deliberate, John, yes.
It looks like it could be the screenplay or the script for the film, Stephen.
I think so.
And the way he's positioned it, there's no way it's not deliberate. He could have positioned this in a way where it's not even close to the script. He's put it in the foreground, or the background in the comics in the foreground, and he's blurred it out. So it's very nifty. It's a cute little way of saying, look, this is the logo, this is a little bit of information about this film. We're still a ways away, I should say, from the production. I think they're saying it may start late 2019, December.
December, John,
So we're still a good bit away. We've not had any casting news whatsoever.
We've not got Bruce Wayne
we've not got a Bruce Wayne. But we do know he wants to go down this detective side of the character, explore the detective, the world's greatest detective side of the character.
Yeah.
And what better way to introduce that in the form of a photo where it's a Detective Comics sort of DC, a photo in DC, and you've got Batman swinging with a crook in his arm. He's doing an arm race, sort of a, I don't know what you'd call that, an arm, sort of a,
yeah, like a lock,
yeah, he's locking his head and he's swinging. So what better way to introduce that he wants to go down this side, he's going to remain faithful to the Detective Comics side of the thing, the detective side of the character, and it gives us a new logo as well. I have to say, I know it's traditionally, I think it's faithful to the old, the first sort of a Batman logo. They are celebrating the 80th birthday, but I think the logo is a little bit snide, I have to say. I'm not a big fan of it. But from a traditionalist point of view,
I get it, yeah.
I get it. And I'm not absolutely against it, you know what I mean? So I'm always about nostalgia and stuff like that and getting back to the roots. And I can't believe it's 80 years old. That's absolutely crazy, man.
Yeah, I mean, we're only talking about it all day, you know. It's and
why it terrifies me going back and reading all of those comics, because I can't possibly go back, being a completionist, and read every single one of those comics spanning 80 years.
When you think back to the Tim Burton film as well, John, that came out in '89, I mean, that would have been Batman celebrating his 50th, is that right? My math's right. Would have been, you know, it took almost 50 years for, you know, a big feature film on the character, excluding the 1966 version with Adam West and, can't remember the boy that played Robin, Burt.
Oh, I'll never forget that.
Burt, I can't remember his name. But
I'll try and find it.
Yeah, for that to take 50 years, I get it now, because obviously Burton's, you know, vision for the character really did. Burt Ward, that's it. Yeah. I was going to say Burt Young, but that was Paulie from Rocky. Yeah, so it's definitely not him.
You look at him, Stephen, such an iconic take on the character, isn't it?
I mean, for it to take 50 years to hit the big screens, John, it did hit the big screens in a very big way. Tim Burton's film, regardless of what people might compare now, it's all good in 2020 hindsight. For that film to come out at the time, that image of Michael Keaton in the Dark Knight suit as well was absolutely mind-blowing at the time. I always remember seeing it for the first time and my jaw dropped. Yeah, I was always used to the Adam West costume, that portrayal of Batman. When that came out, it just totally blew my mind. I don't think comic book films have looked back since then in that sort of style. It really was a game changer as far as I'm concerned. But the logo itself, John, doesn't really bother me. It does remind me a little bit of the television series logo as well. But I get that they're trying to pay homage to the sort of origins of the character as well.
Should always be looking to do. A
couple of names, John, it's cropped up in this article as well in regards to Bruce Wayne. Actors like Armie Hammer and Oscar Isaac have been rumoured to be in talks to play the new Bruce Wayne.
Armie Hammer, I don't mind him. He's actually a decent actor. He's 6'2", he's well built, so he's got the physicality for it. Oscar Isaac, no.
I like Oscar, but
I love Oscar Isaac. I think he's a fantastic actor, but he's only 5'7", 5'7.5". He's way too short to play Bruce Wayne. He'd have to wear stilts and he'd have to have the camera sitting 2 feet from the ground, looking up at every single person. It would feel like that Supergrass film video pumping on the radio, the stereo, but it's the big long legs and from the angle looking up.
I'd watch that, yeah.
Ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. I think they were talking about
John Hamm,
Robert Pattinson.
Yeah,
I think that's his name. He was in also I think it was the Hunger Games or something.
He was in Twilight.
The Twilight
saga. Definitely not Hunger Games.
He was in Harry Potter as well.
I like Robert Pattinson, but I don't know. He doesn't have a Bruce Wayne feel to him at all.
He doesn't.
I think he's
and
still.
He'd have to put on about 5-6 stone in weight.
Yeah, he's still boyish looking as well, and unless they're going with the sort of young Bruce Wayne, which I don't know. I don't think so. I think John Hamm is still my
he's still my favourite.
My favourite. Oscar Isaac, great actor. I love what he's done in films, obviously Star Wars films as well, and over the last few years. But Armie Hammer, I'm not sure. I think he's definitely got the look for it, but John Hamm's probably my favourite, John. He's
still my favourite as well, Steve. The final thing I'll say on Matt Reeves, just the fact that the guy has got a personal copy of Detective Comics issue number 27. It's the first canonical appearance of Batman, which, as you did say, was published 80 years ago. Yeah. Shows you the fact that this guy is a massive fan of the character, of the comics, and that he gets it. So you can't have a better guy like that on board. Out with Ben Affleck, who is also an equally massive Batman fan, has a Batcave in his house, for God's sake. So if he can't crack the script, if you're taking him on words and face value, his comments where he says he couldn't crack it, so he handed it over to Matt Reeves, which I don't take. I think they split in a very nefarious way. I don't think it was amicable at all. I think they didn't get on. They basically took the script from him, they took the role from him, they took the directorship from him.
I think Affleck's been very generous in his list, John, to be fair.
But they're bringing on a guy who's equally passionate about the character, and that's great.
Yeah. I think that's probably softened the blow for Ben Affleck, because I think he cares about the character enough to let go if it's in the right hands.
Yeah,
you know,
and that's great.
Listen, we'll move on to the next
article.
article.
You want me to say this one, Stephen? Because I know you're going to have a little bit of issues with the word. We tried it.
Listen, I call him Tex from Alan Partridge.
Tex from Alan Partridge.
I can't say. I cannot say that name. I've tried my best, but I can't say it.
Well, I shall try and say it, Stephen, without butchering it. But I don't care. I butcher languages all the time and names on the blog rundown. So I will dive right into this one. Hands and feet first. It's all about Avengers. Peter Serafinowicz on Nova Corp's involvement in Endgame. Could he be in Endgame? Apparently he died at the end of Guardians. We were discussing this. I couldn't remember. It's been a while since I've seen the original Guardians.
I get mixed up with him and the John C. Reilly character, because I knew one of the two were in one of the closing scenes of the first Guardians of the Galaxy film, John. It confused me a little. But apparently he died, I think it was the Battle of Xandar. I think that's when all the little ships all linked up.
I see. I was thinking that, Stephen.
And he was kind of leading the charge on it, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, I do. I think you're right. Yeah,
and he obviously died. I just couldn't remember him dying. He's a great actor though, John.
Because that was a very bright, colourful, climactic battle. Yeah. They were all linking up. You're right. Yeah.
He was Sean's roommate in Shaun of the Dead. Became a zombie. He also voiced Darth Maul in the 1999 Phantom Menace as well.
He's a great guy.
Yeah, he's and as we were saying, you know, he played that iconic character in the Alan Partridge series as well, Tex. He loved all things American.
Yeah, he was from where? I can't recall.
Oh, I can't remember now.
He was from somewhere in England anyway. He had no right having
Norwich,
this interest.
Probably,
yeah, Norwich. He had no right having that obsession with American culture, but look, I guess many people do. I've seen many a cowboy walking along the streets of Glasgow that have no right wearing cowboy boots. But I digress. I can't even recall him dying, Stephen. I'm going to bow to their superior knowledge of the film. It's been a number of years since I've seen it. I really have to go back and watch these films back to back before Endgame, but I think I've left myself way too little time to do that. I don't think it's going to happen.
I'll probably go back and watch the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1 and 2 when Volume 3 comes out, just prior to its release. You know?
I think what they're hinting at here, Stephen, is that perhaps the inclusion of time travel, that they may utilise time travel to go back and remedy and maybe sort out some of the things that happened in the past of the MCU, touch upon some of the big moments in the timeline on their way to defeating the Mad Titan. So they may go back to Xandar and maybe perhaps see Peter Serafinowicz's character
the Nova
popping
Corps,
up once again, the Nova Corps, and perhaps how they're going to impact. That may be complete bullshit. I may be talking crap there. They may just be hinting that Nova Corps is an entity coming in and maybe joining forces.
I think because of the story in Volume 2, John, I don't recall them being in Volume 2. I think
it was those ridiculous cold aliens that just boiled my blood.
Yeah, they were terrible.
Yeah,
they're definitely missing from Volume 2. So that would make sense with the time travel theory, I think.
And again, they're saying it's just the fact that they were in possession of the Power Stone, the orb, aka the Power Stone.
Yeah.
It was in Nova Corp's possession, and also that was snatched away. So they're saying that it would make sense that the Galactic Military Team would somehow be involved in trying to get that back into their possession from the Mad Titan. I think they're clutching a little bit, Stephen. But time will truly tell. It's a 3-hour film.
Yeah,
by all accounts. 3 hours and 2 minutes long. So it's entirely possible that the Russos have managed to fit these various different characters and organisations in, and I'm actually going to briefly go into the running time, Stephen, before we round this show up. It's going to have to be brief because we're running out of time.
Yeah, time's running out.
Yeah, sadly we've got a 30-minute recording limit, which we need to address. But I digress. They're saying, even though this is Joe Russo apparently answering why there's a very specific runtime, why it has to be over 3 hours long. He's saying, even though we've shot a lot of footage between now and then, we've swapped things out and the water keeps rising to the same level because the story is so dense. We have so many characters that we're working with again that require that kind of runtime. My brother and I are really committed to the emotional stakes and emotion required to a story. What is that? Emotion requires story real estate. It says when you have a sprawling plot with a lot of characters and emotional stakes, it requires time to breathe emotionally. On the scale, you're just going to wind up on a certain runtime. We've been really hard on the film we don't like excessive runtimes. It's just very difficult wrapping up 10 years of storytelling. And we obviously seen Stephen, I think it was Bob Iger or Kevin Feige, saying that the story or the runtime would be what it had to be. Yeah. And just the fact they've got the confidence in the Russos to get it right. They don't care about running times. We've seen this with DC and Warner Brothers, obsessed about keeping the film at 2 hours long, really hammering Zack Snyder into bringing down and shaving half an hour off the film to the detriment of the film and the story.
I was going to say that, John. If you're shaving the time down for that reason, then you're shaving the point of the story.
Exactly.
No, I don't mind. They can make it as long as they want. My attention span's a little bit better than your average film goer if it's based on DC's mindset. I get that. I think if you're going to make it over 3 hours for the purpose of tying up all these storylines, and it's an investment of over 10 years now, I think you'd be selling yourself short if you're that obsessed with the running time, then perhaps maybe filmmaking's not the thing you should be in. It's all about storytelling, and if the story is going to be 3 hours long, 3 hours and 2 minutes long, that is, then so be it.
Yeah, Stephen, I'd be happy with a 4 hour film. I would sit and watch a 4 hour film if it was required to tie up all the loose ends.
John, that was one of the problems you had with the Grindhouse thing that Tarantino and Robert Rodriguez had, where they had the two films, Death Proof and Planet Terror.
It was a double matinee, wasn't it?
Yeah, and the audiences at that time, 10 years, 12 years ago, weren't ready for that. They weren't ready to sit down for that length of time, which is quite ironic, because when you think about what they were trying to do is recapture those sort of 1970s, 80s exploitation films that did that anyway. Yeah,
exactly, yeah. You know? Yeah, Stephen, look, as I did say, I'm really looking forward to it. I don't care about the running time. I don't care how long it has to be. As long as they fit everything they need to fit in, they hit all the right points that they need to hit with character development, the arcs, and bringing everything to a fitting conclusion, I'm happy. They have says in a further quote, or I think it's Joe Russo says in a further quote, that they spent a lot of time in the edit room twisting and turning the narrative a bunch of different ways. They were very rigorous with the story, but they have had some tremendous feedback from audiences who have been able to go in and watch early screeners of Endgame. So irrespective of the length, they've consistently embracing the film, these test audiences. So there you go, you don't really need to care about running time. When you've got a faithful and obviously a fan base that's just cannot wait to see these films, they don't care about running time. As long as they get it and they can eat it up and consume it, they're not giving a damn. It's half an hour longer than the previous longest film, and I don't care.
I didn't want Infinity War to end at that time. I was quite happy. A very comfy chair as well, so make sure you have a comfy chair. But listen, that just brings us to the end of this week's edition of Movie Burner News. We would just like to thank you again for joining us, and we will be back again tomorrow with the blog rundown.
If you're liking this video, then why not check out our other content on our channel. Every Tuesday we break down the top 10 films in the UK on Box Office Chat. Every Wednesday we discuss the latest entertainment news on Movie Burner News. Every Thursday we chat about the latest movie reviews from our writing team on the blog rundown. And we wrap up the week and get ready for the weekend with the Force Friday show, where we discuss the latest news in the world of Star Wars. If you're liking the content we are putting out, then do subscribe to our channel by hitting that subscribe button and click the bell to receive alerts.